rusted in there.
Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. Today I have a tiller to fix. Let's scratch this project. Before we get into the video, I want to thank you once again, JLC3DP, for sponsoring this video. Using their website service is very easy. You go to their website, go down to 3D printing, click quote now. All you need to do is just drag in your 3D file right here. And then you have all of these options to pick from. Once you have selected all your options, just go ahead and submit your order. And once it's approved, they will start building your item and ship it right to your doorstep. And you can get up to $70 coupon as a new user. Without JLC3DP's help, I don't think this project will be possible. The package is here. Let's open it and see how it is. Bubble wrap is very nice, protecting the item. Oh, 2 bubble wrap. Wow, that is amazing. Here we go. Look at this. This is the warm gear. Look at that. Those defects are me. I tested this already. It fits very nicely. This is the original bronze gears for the tiller, and as you can see there, all the teeth are broken. The teeth are broken, stuff like that. Very nasty. And then I 3D modeled this piece right here just to test fit. This is just pure lace. Even if I put this in the tiller, it's just gonna break right away because the tiller used a 99C engine. See here, the teeth are like this, and the one that I modeled are a little bit different. But I tested with this plastic piece right here, and it works great. It rotates very smoothly, almost exactly like the original, but the teeth is just a little bit different. I am not quite sure exactly how these teeth look when on the original, so that's how I model this one. So you can see I got all the inner dimension. This lock right here, I got all of it, and it seems very similar, but it looks like the teeth here are a little bit thicker than these. This P is SLM, stainless steel metal, so it's gonna be tougher than the bronze metal one. And it weighs almost exactly the same. So I'm gonna weigh it, the bronze. So that's about 13.4 ounce. And now the stainless steel, 13.9 ounce. Okay, almost exactly the same. I think it may or may be the same if the teeth here are not broken. But hey, we got it. Let's just put it onto the tiller. Now that I got my gear here, I'm gonna clean everything here up. I need to take this out. Unfortunately, it's been sitting here for a week now and it's been rusting. It's been raining a little bit and it has been rusting a little bit, so I need to clean this up. Last time I kind of screwed this up, so I need to sand that piece right here down a little bit and make sure that it fits with all the gears and stuff like that. And just look at my hand, so nasty. These are kind of broken, but I think it's still gonna work. I just need to clean up the holes. Some of the washer here is kind of broken, but I think it's still gonna work. And all the ball bearing are here, but some of them broke in half. So I just need to clean up all the rust, make sure that everything fits snugly, and put some lubrication there so that it will run smoothly. So let's get started. I got these things, I forgot what they're called. So I'm gonna be using these to shave down the high spot so that my gear can fit inside of it. I have a small one. These are diamond tips, so these are not going to be used for those. Diamond tip is going to be polished, softer material, so I'm going to be using these sides, which is steel harder tip. They're going to take off more of the material, so I'm going to be using these tools. I've been sanding this down for a while. It is a lot smoother, so all the things, the bearing and stuff like that, can slide in this thing, slide in this rod. But this side still need to fix this part, and especially need to fix this part. That is like a bump. I need to fix that. So what I'm doing is just holding this down with my hand and then just do that, sanding it down. I cannot do it one hand, so I need both hands. Apparently this casting right here, the hole right here, I think when the engine was running, this rod was rubbing against this thing and it keeps pushing this thing upward. Dirt got inside, and then that leads to the gear breaking, rocks stuck in between the warm shaft and the warm gear, so that it's the result of what happened to this tiller. So what I'm thinking is using some JB wheel mixture and try to make this as round as possible so that dirt does not get inside of this in the future. Gear was rubbing against this thing, dirt and stuff like that, rocks, small stones, and pretty it looks like this is damaged. So I think it's supposed to look like this. This one is perfectly round, a little bit damaged, but it's still fine. but this one is so much damage, but I think it's still useful. I think it's still workable. I just need to patch this part up here. So apparently I got this bearing stuck with the rod and leave it overnight for a couple of days. Has been raining and it has rusted in there, so I can't separate it. So I have to postpone this project for another day, and I'll have to buy a bearing separator just to get this bearing off. I don't want to smash and force this thing out because it might ruin the bearing, and if I ruin the bearing I gotta buy another set. So I'd rather just buy an extractor for this so that I have for future use too. It's the next day and this has arrived, but oh my gosh, I did not realize that it was gonna be this big. I thought it was only gonna be halfway of this. I'll leave a link for this in the description down below if you're in need of some bearing pulling. Wow, these polar are gigantic. Maybe if you're gonna pull huge bearing, like 2 to 3 inch bearing, you definitely need these, because I was playing with these, right? But the one that I'm pulling are not these, but I'm using these bearings. It's very small compared to these, so I was like, okay, maybe those polar are not gonna be this big, but it's actually this big. But let's just set it up and pull the bearing on the outside. So to use this, we're gonna need this huge things right here, and that's gonna be the bearing I'm pulling. We're gonna need 3 of these things that have the spring in there, so these, and we need this ejector rod right here. These are polar rod with the spring, and we need the 3 nuts. We also need this socket to connect to this part here so that we can screw it out like this, if we can get it in there like that. And these are gonna go inside of this to pull this bearing out, hopefully with a good angle. DeWalt 20D Max impact ball. This thing is amazing. I love this thing. So we're gonna be putting the socket there, and then we're gonna drill this in. That's so much easier faster. What? There we go. We got the bearing out. That is so nice. It was all rusty inside, that's why it was stuck so bad. This piece right here is the key that goes between the rod and the worm gear. It goes inside this cutout right here, and then you push the gear through the rod and fit it into this cutout right here. As you can see here, I push it in and it is stuck because it's very tight. So I'll be using this bearing pusher puller. Try to push this in there. With that bearing puller, I managed to get it fit in there perfectly. Now I'm putting on this washer-ish, and then I need to fit in this C-clamp in there so that the gear does not move out of place. It took me about 10 minutes to get this thing because I don't have the correct tool, but I finally got the C-clamp inside of that cutout and it works pretty well. The gear is now stuck in place, and I got the other side done too, so now it's time to move on to the next step. This is part of the bearing. It's supposed to go on both sides of this rod right here, and this is the cage for these balls to go inside of it so that it can spin freely. Since those balls are rusted, I got myself some new ball bearings. It requires the 1/4 balls. As you can see here, me and my dad, we put these balls in the ball cage with the inner bearing sitting on the rod, and it spins smoothly. Now that we assemble most of the stuff, it's time to put some grease on the bearings and the gear so that it will spin smoothly. You might say that this is so much grease, but I feel like it's just perfect, or maybe not even enough, because when I first took this off, there's so much grease in there, and I feel like more grease is better than less grease. Here we are just putting more grease on all the parts. Now that we have greased everything inside this transmission, the worm gear, we are now putting in the screw to lock this gearbox in place. We have tightened all the screws to this gearbox here, And as you can see here, when I spin this shaft right here, the other shaft also spins. Now that the gearbox is completely assembled, we have put into the tiller itself with all 5 screws locked in place, and we also have put in the pulley, which is the circle with the fin thing at the bottom there, and this attached to the drive shaft worm instead of the gearbox, which makes the shaft spin and the other gear spins. We just need to screw this in place, put the belt in the pulley transmission, and we are complete. After we have assembled everything to the tiller itself, my dad went ahead and started the engine. As you can see here, when the trigger is pulled, the either pulley tighten the belt and then it connects to the pulley engine at the bottom there, making the gearbox spin. We did finish early, but then when we were putting in the time set inner and outer, we have a very hard time because the other day when I was pulling this out and I was smashing it with a hammer, making it not further circle and making it deform a little bit, so we were having a very hard time putting these together. But at the end of the day, we have made everything work and this tiller is ready and set. This project is complete. Oh my gosh, what a day. When I started working with the tiller, it was about 5 p.m. and it took me all the way to 9 p.m. just to get the transmission assembled and put everything back together. It took about 4 hours, 5 hours. That is quite a long time just to put the tiller back together, but I finally did it. I finally got it. Having a 3D printer right in your house is amazing. 3D printers, 3D printing is such an amazing invention. I feel like this might be the best DIY that has ever happened in today's life. I'm not quite sure when 3D printing actually occurred, 10 to 15 years ago. Making this model right at your house within hours has never been possible. I have always been wanting to do stuff like this. Stuff around my house broke, like my machine broke, stuff like that, small piece broke. I just want to quickly make it up like 3D printing. I've been wanting to do this forever and I finally got a chance to do it today. Well, I got projects here and there, but today is like a huge project for me because like I said, in the past when stuff broke like this, there's no way to make 3D models like this and send it to a company like JLC3DP. Thank you to them once again for sponsoring this video and get the exact part that you 3D model right in your hand within like a couple of days. But if you have the material, you have the 3D printer, you can just get it within hours. Without the invention of 3D printing, this project in this video was never even possible because I checked online and the bronze worm gear here is out of stock. They don't have them in stock anymore, and without 3D printing, it's never going to be possible to fix the tiller without this gear because it's broken, so the thing cannot spin. Once again, thanks to JLC3DP for sponsoring this video, making this project possible. And yeah, I'm just very happy that I made my parents' tiller work again. One of those tiller costs about $400 to $500, so getting a replacement part just for that is really amazing. And now I know how that machine actually work, how it spins, how they work is just really amazing. The process is amazing, the experience is amazing, everything here is amazing. So yeah, I'm just very happy that I got it back and working again. One project down, many more to go. If you like this video, leave a like on this video. If you still have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet become a member of my YouTube channel, it's gonna be amazing. More content will be in there. Subscribe to the channel because more amazing stuff like this is coming. And as always, keep on 3D printing.